Hi guys, my name is Naeem. So in this video I'm going to be talking about my solo trip to Japan and Tokyo and what it was like there, what it was like being solo and really just the incredible experience of visiting Japan. And it's crazy to think that this is actually nearly 1 year ago, but I've just got so much video footage I realized, actually I want to finish this video. So to begin with, going to Japan is an incredible experience and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to go there because not everyone can. It is quite expensive to go there in terms of plane tickets and even staying there, and me being solo meant that it was cheaper to just go there, go to different places, eat out, and just have that freedom of movement. So it was nice. What I would say is staying there, well, at least in my time there, I essentially almost lived there. I spent most of my time in Tokyo and I stayed at an American hostel in the place called Shinjuku. Shinjuku is one of the city centers in Tokyo. There's multiple city centers, but it's a really popular one. And I was taking the train everywhere, so I was just going everywhere, all about the metropolitan area, which itself is huge. And I loved going to Shibuya. Shibuya is probably the most common place I went to, and I went to different popular parts of the city area. But I essentially experienced what it was like almost living there. And when I was there, yes, it was amazing, but a lot of the time I was actually just going around with my laptop, just working. I was doing some like small tasks while I was there, and just really like almost experiencing life there. It's very fast paced, like a busy metropolitan city, but it's one heck of an experience. So firstly, I'm going to talk about what it was like going solo. When you travel solo, this itself is a different kind of experience. Because you're by yourself, there are periods of loneliness. So I think it's really something that actually I've learned by just doing multiple solo trips. That was technically my second solo trip. And it's the idea that when you do travel solo, you really do have to somewhat go out of your way to talk to people and find people. And luckily, because I was staying at an American hostel, I did meet loads of people and I was able to talk to quite a lot of people. But even then, it was a sort of a different kind of experience. Staying at the American hostel, people were coming and going, so it wasn't really easy to forge sort of like a long-lasting or real relationships, just because of the nature of the movement of people. And you saw people of all ages there, so it wasn't as easy as I thought. But it's definitely something that like I hope I can like bring to my attention in future trips, and it's something you learn. But you really do have to go out of your way to talk to people when you're on solo trips. And the good thing is that in a place like Japan and Tokyo, there's so many foreign tourists. There's so many Americans. My hostel was full of like a big gang of Australian students on their summer vacation. So you do meet lots of people, and you meet lots of people that can speak English, which is actually really important because, to my surprise, well, it shouldn't be surprising, but I did find that Japanese people, although they understand basic English, they're not very well versed in speaking English. That being said, they do understand, generally they do understand basic sentences, and they're always very nice and lovely whenever you need help. But it is important to perhaps be in an environment or place where you find you find people around you that are perhaps English speakers. That definitely helps in terms of mobility. But yeah, going solo, the good thing is that you have so much freedom. And like I said, I essentially almost experienced what it was like living there because, I wasn't really going to a new place every single day. I was just experiencing like life in Tokyo. And it was good. It was good. Being solo also meant that I didn't have as much costs with regards to eating food. So every day I would they have these like 7-Elevens in Tokyo, and they're like think of it like the UK Greggs or the UK Tesco's or Sainsbury's. The food isn't very expensive. In fact, I'd say it's actually kind of cheap. The only issue I did have was with halal food. I had to be a bit careful. I couldn't just eat anywhere. The good thing is that there's lots of halal places to eat in Tokyo, but I tended to get just like fast food, like kebabs, like chicken wraps, that kind of stuff. Coolest place I went to in Tokyo by far was Shibuya Crossing. This is Shibuya Crossing, and it's really, really busy when people cross. There are so many people crossing at the same time. And the most amazing thing is how organized it is. And now you can see instantly it's back to lots of cars just driving across. I went to Shibuya several times in that 1 week, and I kept coming back. The crossing itself isn't that impressive. It's just a big crossing, which surprisingly is very organized. But it's just that whole area is so fun to go to. It's very easily, it's very accessible by the different tubes. Atmosphere is just so lively. It's awake at night time. It's awake in daytime, and the whole area is like a big shopping mall slash tourist area, so it's really fun going there. I recall there was this skyscraper I would go up, and from the skyscraper there's like a ninth level cafe with incredible views that's free to go, and I loved going there. I went there at least I think 2 or 3 times in my trip. It was definitely the highlight. There's multiple places you'll find in Tokyo where you can really go up to like 10 to between 10 and 20 floors high and see some incredible views completely for free, and there's cafes there, which I love doing. I think the other place in Tokyo that I loved going was where the Sky Tower was. I think it's called the Sky Tree, and I went there multiple times. As I mentioned, there's also another cafe high up that's got some really good views, but I just love going to those cafes and working from there. And another thing you do find from these cafes is you can see Mount Fuji in the background. Mount Fuji is so huge, as I mentioned, but it's incredible seeing it from Tokyo. Like wherever you go, any slightly higher place above the small buildings, any skyscraper, and on a clear day you can see it in the distance. It's freaking enormous. I think if you go to Tokyo, you really have to have an itinerary of where you want to go, but really 3 or 4 days I think is enough to see a lot of the main tourist areas, if not everything. So me being there for a week meant I had spare days to really just do whatever I wanted, and I was very relaxed, to be honest. Like I said, I'd go to those cafes and just work on my laptop and just kind of chill and experience life there. What I would say is as well, just the incredible impression I got from the culture there. You'll find in Japan everybody is so well mannered, civilized. Everybody is very orderly, and it's like I've never seen a country that is just so well mannered. The thing about Tokyo is that it's such a densely populated and densely built city, right? Yet, despite this, it's not extremely busy. It's not like loud, full of horns like you'll find in Bangladesh. It's quiet, actually. The hostel I was saying, in the morning time, it's quiet. Air is fresh, and you can really tell it's as if this place is a special place. And despite being so dense, I've never seen such a place so calm, and it's almost like a miracle in of itself, and perhaps really a reflection of just how good Japanese people are. I briefly stayed on the outskirts of Japan, where I saw sort of what it was like to live in the Tokyo residential areas, and that itself was it was nice. They're very cute. They're aesthetically quite different, but they're still very clean, very organized. The houses are quite small and squishy, and again, you can see that it's a very nice developed country. But if you go to Tokyo, it's very modern, and there is a stark contrast between like modern skyscrapers and traditional Japanese architecture and like temples. To end this video, it was a really good experience going to Japan. It's something that I don't regret. I think really the hardest experience was just coping with being solo and at times being lonely. But that's something that sort of you learn going on solo trips and really getting yourself out there and like interacting with people and meeting people. But it's a life experience, and if you are planning to go solo, I would definitely recommend it. And I would just suggest just being prepared to like really get yourself out there, be extroverted, talk to people in your hostel. Obviously, like you want to be safe and you want to go out with the right people, but generally I had a really good experience, alhamdulillah, and honestly, like it just motivates you to go on more trips and to see the world again. So one of the things I really enjoy is just waking up early in the morning and going to a cafe to work. And so this is just where I'm sitting at the moment. View of Tokyo in the distance. So yeah, it's really cool. So to use this thing, I just tap my like temporary card and that's enough. So these are the kind of like sweet snacks they have. They're very unique. but you have to be careful because you don't know. Sometimes they contain really wacky ingredients and it makes them not halal. And I have this incredible view. This looks like a restaurant, but those are live fish in a tanker. That is just so weird. That might just be the most narrow street I've seen in Tokyo so far. One of the things I love about Tokyo is waking up early, and I find myself every day waking up 6 to 7 a.m. I find that I don't want to stay inside. I want to go outside as much or as early as I can. These things are they're like chocolate pretzels. They're okay. So we've come to Mount Fuji. I had to wear sunglasses. It's a really beautiful day too. But Mount Fuji is very close, so hopefully we'll go there. I wasn't able to get the cable cart up to the top of the hill or mountain, so I'm gonna hike up. Hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. So I guess I have to actually quite literally walk up this massive path to get to the top. It's a bit hard to focus, but that lake was basically where we were, and now we're really high up. But I'm making my way down. This view is absolutely insane. I'm really high up right now. Wow, honestly, it's really just incredible.